A warm welcome to your Barbados Today Morning news update for Monday, September 27. Barbados recorded 4 COVID-19 deaths over the weekend. The deceased, all women, were unvaccinated and had comorbidities. The death toll now stands at 68. On Saturday, the island recorded 175 new COVID-19 cases from the 2,085 tests conducted by the Barbados Public Health Laboratory. Of those new cases, 43 persons are under the age of 18 and 132 are 18 years and older. There are 1,037 patients in isolation. Barbados has recorded 7,576 confirmed cases of the viral illness. In the face of mounting deaths and rising infections, Dr. Heather Harewood told an online discussion entitled Vaccines and the Church that the COVID-19 vaccines are safe. She was responding to a question posed about vaccinations causing deaths.
The reality is that the number of deaths, though, from the
about 4.7
is 4.7 million, nearly 4.8 million.
Yeah.
So it is still, in excess of. And it's not to say that you would ignore vaccine-related deaths, because the whole idea is that you're monitoring it to see what the overall profile is. But the whole idea is that if you look at the risk versus the benefit ratio, there's still a higher probability of survival. And if you become infected of less severe disease than if persons are exposed to the actual COVID-19 virus itself. So still from a relative safety profile, the vaccine still has a safer profile than allowing persons to be exposed to the actual disease.
To date, 101,857 persons, which represent 37.6% of the population, have received their second dose and are fully vaccinated. In other news this Monday, Prime Minister Mia Mottley hits back at criticism level by opposition leader Bishop Joseph Atherley and President of the Democratic Labour Party Verla de Pisa about government's involvement with Radical Investments Limited, which made a failed attempt to secure vaccines for the country. Speaking at a news conference in New York on Saturday, Mottley suggested the comments made by the two leaders were not helping the country, given the reluctance of some Barbadians to get vaccinated.
When I heard the leader of the Democratic Labour Party seeking to find something to throw mud at, I said to myself, does the leader recognize that she is functioning as the leader of a main political party that has at some time to ask itself how it is helping the country get through this difficult moment and how it is helping the country save lives? And if its only way is to try to throw mud in the hope that the mud will stick, well, then I say to her, my dear, you are going down the wrong road. I know what it is to have led an opposition party, perhaps longer than most in our country. And I know what it is to determine what battles are worthy of opposition and what battles require the country to come together. With respect to this issue, I repeat, as I said on Wednesday night already, there is no contract with Radical Investments.
But despite the PM's rebuke, de Pisa is standing her ground. Speaking at the party meeting involving the branches of St. Michael South East, St. George North, and St. Philip North last evening, de Pisa insisted she's not perturbed by Mottley's retort, and she reiterated her call for government to provide clarity on the vaccine deal.
We know from the manufacturers directly the price of a dose is $3 each US. And we have seen all of the documents where an entertainment company, and that's all it really is, an entertainment company was contracted with in order to bring vaccines ostensibly on behalf of the people of Barbados at $10 a dose. And then we heard the Prime Minister yesterday in an attempt to explain away, speaking about a $24 a dose cash on delivery transaction. Where is this 100% markup going? This is the explanation that the people of Barbados need to have. And simply shouting at me is not going to make the issue go away.
In other news this Monday, the Deputy Chief Education Officer is admonishing parents to closely monitor who and what their children are interacting with online. Joy Adamson says now that children are on the internet more often due to online classes, parents must be on the lookout for predators. She made the comments at a presentation of devices to students at the St. Leonard's Anglican Church on Sunday.
Watch out for our children. Parents and guardians, you have a responsibility to note who your child or ward is associating with, be it face-to-face or online, because there are predators out there. I want to impress upon you the need to play an active role in their lives. You must enforce the values being taught at school, support the school, uphold the school rules and the policies that would have been shared with you. Let them get up early on mornings, get their breakfast, and then be ready for their class. Monitor what they're doing and if they're paying attention, and get the help and assistance if you yourself can't do it. A lot of parents, my mother didn't know anything about geography or Spanish, but she was there to help me, to assist me. Be there to listen and assist wherever possible. Read that literature book as well and quiz them. Help them where you can.
Government is soon to roll out another housing project in the parish of St. George. Word of this from St. George South MP Dwight Sutherland. Sutherland, who was on hand Friday to witness the handover of 15 houses at Todd's to the National Housing Corporation, said work had already begun on the project.
There is another housing project coming at Brighton, St. George, and I think there are some 87 houses that we're looking to build. Presently, we are in the process of surveying the land, and I'm hoping that my good people of St. George get their fair share of houses, because I would know, based on what I've seen, the government has been good to the people of Tods, and I'm hoping that as we travel to Brighton, that we too will allow those persons in the area of Draxall and Melverton and Waverley Court and Ellerton to get their fair share of housing as well. And indeed from wider, because we're not saying persons that live in St. Lucie can come and live in St. George. I would hope that I get, because 87 houses mean multiply that by 3, I say no more. That's over 200 persons that I believe I can call upon when I knock on doors and ask certain questions. But I am happy that more housing solutions are coming to St. George, road infrastructure, and indeed jobs.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional happenings in Trinidad and Tobago, a prominent local businessman is predicting that there could soon be a shortage of goods coming into Port of Spain due to supply challenges coming from the Far East. More in this report from TTT News.
Businessman Neil Mohammed says many are experiencing delayed shipments and added that increasing shipping rates from China, which is in excess of US $10,000, has compounded the issue. As a businessman, Mr. Mohammed says he has been careful in how he orders goods since the freight on the container is more than the goods itself. He says this, along with issues for foreign exchange, has made the situation unbearable.
A shortage of goods coming into Trinidad and Tobago. Coupled with that, the unavailability of US funds, and together with that, the fact that people don't have the income as they did before to purchase your goods.
On the international front, Switzerland agreed to legalize civil marriage and the right to adopt children from same-sex couples by a near two-thirds majority in a referendum on Sunday, making it one of the last countries in Western Europe to lift the ban on gay marriage. More in this report from Reuters TV.
Swiss voters on Sunday agreed to legalize same-sex marriage by a nearly two-thirds majority. The amended law will make it possible for same-sex couples to get married and to adopt children. Married lesbian couples will also be allowed to have children through sperm donation, currently legal only for married heterosexual couples.
Aimer, respecter, et je pense que...
This voter says, what is important for a child is to be loved and respected, and I think some children are neither loved nor respected by heterosexual couples, so I don't have any issue or reluctance. Amnesty International said in a statement that the new law was a, quote, milestone for equality. Its passage will also make it easier for the foreign spouse of a Swiss national to get citizenship. The Swiss justice minister said the new rules would likely go into effect on July 1st of 2022.
That's news, but for the very latest, you can visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.